affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
the light. We are the world right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. I sure want to talk to you tonight. Tonight, we're following the signs. There are signs everywhere. Your guides, your angels, your loved ones, they're always letting us know. I had someone send me a message the other day, and someone had just passed the night before. And then she had never, ever in her life, in her yard on this particular tree, ever seen a red bird. And then suddenly, that morning when she went out, there was a red bird, a cardinal, just staring at her and making its presence known. And it didn't fly off. It stood there and stood with intention and energy connecting with her. And so, of course, I got the message. Do you think it was a sign, Sarah Spiritual? I said, yes, indeed it was. It was your loved ones saying goodbye, letting you know that they're okay, letting you know that they'll be watching you, they're protecting you, and they're ready to make their transition. It was a very unexpected passing, and it was something that brought her comfort. Have you ever gotten in the car and been thinking about your loved one on the other side, and then a song you used to jam to with them pops on? Or maybe you see their birthday. I was talking to someone last night on a reading, and she wanted to connect to her loved ones on the other side. And we were in the process of doing that and making connections. And she says to me, and I'm seeing these numbers. And I was able to talk to her grandmother on her mom's side, and then her great-great-grandmother on her dad's side. And her grandmother on her mom's side was very much with her. And so I said to her, I said, what's the number that you're seeing? And it was 531, and 531 is her mother's birthday. And so it's just showing everybody that we're connected. Her grandmother, her mom's mom, is looking out for her and sending her that message. And also, numbers that we see, which I always find fascinating, are a tune-up for us. Every number has a frequency. It has an energy to it. And we are coded energetic beings. And the more we see repetitive numbers, and many of you come to me and you say, I saw 1111 all day. I keep seeing consecutive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you think it means? Well, it can mean very different things for different people. But when you're seeing repetitive numbers and they keep repeating, then you are being given a number frequency that has the ability to raise your vibration. And it's an attunement is how I'd like to phrase it. I had taught in class in my apprentice program a few weeks ago. We were talking about every soul has a tone, and every tone, that energy is unique unto you. That's why I'm able, when you call in, to access your information by the sound of your voice, because you have your own unique tone. That tone unlocks the frequency that allows me to access the information for your soul. Well, we each have our numerical programming, and these numbers that we're seeing are here to up-level our frequency. I know to some people you're like, what? But it's true. It is a frequency that is around us that is always ever moving. Everything has a numerical sequence associated with it. If you think about anything that functions in the world, there's always some math behind it. I remember when I went to college, I was, glad to not really have to take many math classes because I was a music major, and math really wasn't my thing when I was growing up. And so I kind of had this thing with math, like, oh God, don't give me a mathematical problem. Well, I kind of put myself in a little bit of a pickle because music has its own rhythm and its own frequency. And in solfeggio class, which is a class where they teach you how to conduct, you need to know the rhythm of the song. So would it be in 3/4 measure? Would it be 4/4? How many notes would be in each measure? And it ended up being fractions. And I was like, oh God, I cannot escape math. But you can't. Music is math. Spirituality, this energy of our soul is mathematically programmed, and we are all connected through a series of numbers. If you notice in people's families, there's a sign. You'll have somebody whose birthday is 224, and then they have someone else in the family, and the person's birthday is August 24th. But that 24 is a dominant. And then one of the people in the family goes off and has a baby, and somewhere in the baby's birthday is the 24 again. So we see these numbers repeat. These are signs that the universe is with you. These are signs that you're part of a soul family. These are signs that we cannot deny. And if you put it together, like sometimes people will say to me, "Oh my goodness, I always seem to attract people born in the month of February," right? So sometimes that's a little bit of your astrology and what you're attracted to, but it's also there's something about the frequency of somebody whose birthday lines up with the number 2 that connects with you. That number is also calling to your soul. Now, our guides and our angels, they talk to us in so many different ways. They will sometimes give you a smell. Someone told me the other day, they're like, "Oh, I get this whiff of cigar smoke, and my grandfather used to smoke a cigar." Well, you don't need me to tell you, guess what? Your grandfather's with you. But people do want me to validate that and let them know it's possible that could be happening. And the purpose of this conversation in the beginning of the show today is so that you really do pay attention to the fact that your relatives on the other side can send you signs. They can, sometimes we look up in the clouds and you may see their initial. How is that possible? But you happen to look up at the exact time that the clouds form something that resembles their initial, and you're able to think of them, right? And your guides, your angels, your spirit, your loved ones, they prompt you. They prompt you to look up just when you do, so you don't miss it. It's always a way to let you know that you are being watched and protected. And I love the fact that we're always being protected. You're never alone. It's a powerful experience to be in the energy of this divine presence, this energetic blueprint of beings that are surrounding us at any given time, and at any moment they can give you a message. They can leave pennies, feathers in your house, and I know several people who they have feathers appear in their house, and no, they don't have a bird, no, they don't have chickens, no, they don't have anything that could resemble creating a feather, but they'll walk in their living room and there'll be one single feather in the middle of the living room. How did that happen? Spirit. Spirit can manifest and create something to be left for you. So we have to pay attention to that. You know, someone else said to me, every time I see a nickel, wherever I am, I always think of my father, because the girl was sharing with me, my father would be like, "Oh, something about a wooden nickel." So when she sees a nickel, it's always placed just as she's getting out of her car, when she's going to the grocery store. She looks down, what's there? A nickel, right? She turns down a street. She looks down, there's a nickel right smack in the middle of the sidewalk, and everyone could see it, but she looks down, she sees it, she knows what it means for her. And it's placed in a way that she cannot miss it. I remember telling someone when I was in Princeton, New Jersey, we were there for a basketball game. And we were walking down the sidewalk, and I said, "Oh, I see pennies everywhere, and the universe and my angels always give me pennies." Now, this person was a non-believer, so I remember they looked at me and they said, "That's not possible." I said, "You watch. When we turn the corner, we're going to see pennies everywhere." And sure enough, we turned the corner, and there's a penny, there's a penny, there's a penny, there's a penny. We collected quite a few pennies. We had quite a bit of a walk to get to where we were going. And we collected quite a bit of pennies. And the person turned to me and said, "I have never seen this many pennies in a short span of time, spread out on the sidewalk, not like somebody just dumped pennies. How is this possible?" I said, "I told you my guides and my angels, they give me pennies so that I know that they're with me and they're on track. And I'm sure they gave us extra today because you don't believe. So there you go." So that kind of quieted that person, right? And they weren't being negative. It's just not something they were exposed to. And they really didn't believe in much of what they considered woo-woo, right? But that very same person having seen me do lots of woo-woo and miracle things happen around me, and just lighting a candle changed a circumstance or a storyline because I prayed. Suddenly they were showing up at my door with candles, right? So, people need evidence. We need proof. We need to understand that this is there and available to us. Your loved ones also come close to you and you can feel their energy. Your guides and your angels, you can feel them. Sometimes you'll feel this strong protective presence. Other times you're going to simply feel this warmth and this comfort, almost like grandma putting a blanket over you. There's this fabulous sense of energy that's available to you. And when you do that, it's very powerful for you to move forward in your life with that sense of they are not ever going away. They are always connected to you. We feel they've gone away because we cannot see them. We sometimes wonder if we really have a guardian angel because we don't really have the proof. But then again, are you asking for evidence? Are you asking them to show you? Are you talking to your guardian angel as if they're your very best friends so that they know that you need their assistance and that you want to be connected with them? Because it's that key of doing that will build a strong bridge, a connection, and open up for you this powerful, powerful experience of knowing that they will always support you. It's something that we all should strive to achieve. Because without that connection, you're left with feeling alone, feeling unsupported, sometimes not feeling like there's something out there besides you. Someone I talked to just this week, she said, I'm really questioning my faith. And she was having a lot of fear around death and the loss of loved ones and the fear that somebody might pass. And so she was wrestling with that. And she was wondering, is there really somewhere people go? Or do they have a place on the other side? Is that really a thing? So she was really questioning everything around her because she wasn't feeling like she had evidence and proof. So she called me to give her that evidence and that proof that there was someone there with her, that she wasn't alone. Earlier today, I got to talk to someone and we connected to her spirit guides and angels. That was a session that we did. And when we connected to the spirit guides and the angels, we got to build that bridge. And so she was able to connect and receive a gift from them and really feel that sense of warmth and get to know who some of her team is, her posse, her spirit team, or we all have one. We all have quite a few. Some people think, oh, do I only have one or two? No, there's so many. And many of your spirit guides and your angels that are sending you signs, they want you to know you're supported, and they come for a period of time and some kind of step back. They don't ever necessarily leave you, but they become less active. They step back, and another spirit guide it's their area of expertise steps forward a little more, and they begin to work with you and to help you in the journey of whatever you're trying to accomplish or whatever you need to grow within your soul, whatever you need to heal. They're right there for you. So when you say you feel alone, I want you to rethink that. And feelings are powerful. They are one of the most powerful manifestation tools we have. So when you feel that you're alone, you're creating that sense of loneliness. You're creating that sense of being alone. So you have to get a handle. You have to wrestle that sense of I feel alone, I feel unsupported, I don't feel seen, I don't feel heard. We have to kind of wrestle those feelings and figure out where they're coming from and kind of put them to rest and ask the universe to assist you. Ask your guides, ask your angels to give you a sign that you're not alone, and sometimes we're feeling defeated and we're not feeling like we can keep pushing on, and we have goals and we can't get there, and we're like, oh my God, how am I going to ever get out of the hole I'm in? What am I going to do, right? And Then maybe you get in the car and you hear the song, The Eye of the Tiger, right? And you're like, okay, it's a message, right? Suddenly you're like, yes, I've got to get the eye of the tiger. I've got to put myself in a better direction and mindset and in a better feeling in my heart and in my soul, and remember that I can do it. And I need to just let go of all the things that are holding me back. I shouldn't have to be held back. It's my time to propel forward. And it's an important time. And in this journey, we have an opportunity to grow spiritually and increase our connection, and thus always have signs. And eventually, you can develop a connection in your mind where you telepathically can have a thought pop in your head, and you're no longer relying on something evidential that's physical. You just have a sense of knowing. There's a sentence that comes in your mind like, don't worry, it'll be okay. Don't worry, go here and everything will work out. Oh, this is coming. Just move in this direction. It's a stream of consciousness that telepathically streams within your mind and your mindset and begins to influence you and give you a different perspective about the life that you're living. And then there's that sense of knowing, right? Your angels and guides will give you that knowing inside that lets you know you're okay. Even though you don't have anything concrete to point to, you know you're okay. And it's a powerful tool for you to move forward and transform everything in your life. And as you make that move, as you make that transformation, you get better and better at manifesting. Things line up for you better. You find yourself in a better connection. Your feelings begin to be more joyous and enthusiastic. And you begin to love from a different place. Because when you're one with the universal experience of love, that experience of love begins to influence everything you do. And therefore, you're always coming from a place of love. You're always manifesting with the energy of love. No longer are you trying to manifest from a place of desperation or fear. I've got to get it done. I've got a deadline. What am I going to do? It becomes something easier for you. And things begin to transform. There are always signs all around you, and pay attention. Ask your universal friends for a sign. Ask your loved ones. Talk to God. Sometimes God is waiting for you to surrender. Stop running around trying to make things happen that you're pushing through and you're void of the course that God has for you, but you wonder why you're not getting anywhere. Because your dream of what you want for life can't compare with the ideal experience that God already has planned for you. We have the ability to dream and send rockets of desire to the universe and tell God, hey, I'd really love to accomplish this. I feel that this is what I want. We have that ability. We need to suspend all fear and just be open so that we no longer block the vision that God has for us. That if we have to push and force something to happen, and things aren't letting you pass through the doorway to get what you want, that's a sign. But yet you say, I don't get any signs. You get signs. Some of the signs you get you don't like, and you don't want to hear them. You don't want to see them. Because they're going against the grain of what you're pushing for. But sometimes what we push for to create is rooted in our insecure self, our wounded self, our challenged self. And so we're not creating from the energy of we're one with God and we each have our own unique gift. And that gift is our beauty, our grace, and the unique blueprint that is already planned in the universe. There's always a sign. And if you tuned into the station tonight, right here on the Oldie station, and you caught this message, then guess what? That too is a sign. If you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube and we caught your attention, that too is a sign. And if you feel compelled to stay on and continue listening as we go to our callers, that's a sign. And if you hear the phone number 866-972-7247 and something inside of you says, I need to call, I need to talk to Sarah Spiritual, then guess what? That's a sign. Well, I'm going to use this moment as a sign that we're going to have to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. But don't go anywhere. Join us on Facebook on Sarah Spiritual, YouTube on Sarah Spiritual. Thanks for listening. If you're listening on 95.3, 95.9, 96.9, 106.9, 104.3, 104.7, 103.1, HD3, however you got to us, welcome, join us. We're going to be here till 9 p.m. answering your questions. Share the light, share the love, and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
What will change the course of life? I don't know. Where is light? Where is love? What will I do? What will you do to change the world and make it a better place? To change the world.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
Look at us now, right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're so glad to be connecting with all of you and sharing this experience, and we're getting really excited. Did you hear the news? Besides it being our 763rd live show, oh goodness, we have our 16-year anniversary. I still remember my first radio show, and it feels like that was just yesterday. Find it really hard to believe that I've been talking to all of you on radio for 16 years. So we've got a party coming up. We've got a celebration, and I would love to see you there. It's going to be live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach on Okeechobee Boulevard. Go to sarahspiritual.com and learn more about this event and register. Would you like to be a VIP? Would you like the opportunity to ask me a question and also be entered in our raffle? And we've got some fabulous prizes that we're going to be giving away. We'll be talking about them a little closer to our celebration. Would you like to be a guest and have an opportunity to talk to me? VIPs have front row seating and guaranteed spots. And general admission lets you in, and ideally I'm going to do my best to get to as many of you as possible as well. But you too get entered in the raffle to win some fabulous prizes. And we're going to have cake and all sorts of celebratory things to munch on. We're going to have a great time. I would love to see you there at the live show. It's Wednesday, June 11th at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. Go to sarahspiritual.com and register. And why do I encourage you to register now? Because we have a limited amount of people that we can have in the center. So I want to make sure you get in and get your spot and a limited amount of VIPs that I can take. So please go ahead and register at sarahspiritual.com. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. Thanking everyone for your questions on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to be getting to them very soon. I see some of you are asking questions about different signs and things. Oops, I was just corrected. It's show 770. That's the show. All right, 770 shows. But who's counting? 770 shows, Mr. Producer. You lost a few along the way. All right, well, 770 is what I'm being told here from the New York Media Company. So anyway, we are here at 770, but I know we got a 16-year anniversary. No one can tell me that's not happening because I know where I've been for the past 16 years. Every Wednesday night, and I can tell you almost every Wednesday night of an entire year, I get to sit here and talk to all of you, which is my privilege and my honor to assist you all on your spiritual journey. So we're going to go to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. If you'd like to talk to me, pick up the phone, ask your question, and we will guide you through it. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, leave your question and comment in the feed. I've got to go to Georgia. I got Pamela in Georgia. Pamela, how you doing?
Sarah, oh, I'm giddy with your intro. I have two questions, and I have had experiences like you were describing that
Yes.
just serendipitously popped and led to the next thing. So I'll get right to it. You and I laugh. It's been forever. We've talked about this home of mine.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, the HOA, the powers that be.
Oh, yes, the
are,
wicked HOA, yes. Dun, dun, dun.
They're drawing lines in the sand. And I don't know the right terminology to use, but I think they're out ahead of their skis a little bit. Like, I don't think they realize some of the research I've done and some of the information that I have. So they've drawn a hard line in the sand on me for June 3rd, or else is what it reads in the
Or
messaging
else,
to
but
me.
they're the ones who have to fix the leak. So what is the problem?
Correct. It's a situation where, and I don't want to say too much on national radio,
Yes,
where
of course.
I've discovered some things are not being done properly. And I don't know if they either are oblivious to it and don't realize or just don't care. That I think would have complications or consequences to them.
Right.
And June 3rd is not convenient for me because of what I said about part 2 when I said I have 2 questions for you. So one of the other serendipities has nothing to do with the house. And I have asked you before, where am I supposed to go? We did a private session, and I said, where am I supposed to live? I know there's another place, and we discussed that. And I think that place has come to me recently, and I think it's New Hampshire. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's not how I feel, but when I check into the spirit realm, yes, that dropped in your lap in a very fulfilling way. It kind of is a full circle moment, is how Spirit describes it. Now, you have a deadline of June 3rd. Let's get back to the original part of the conversation. I feel like now's the time to begin to strong arm the arm wrestling technique and begin to push back with, no, this is not being done and this is not being done, and you need to push back here. Because if you don't push back, the or else turns into, well, HOAs. I'm not involved in HOAs. I'm not a lawyer, but things get a little tricky. They put a lien on your house, or things just get messy, right? So you want to adhere to the timeline that they're giving you in a way that your response tells them that they're timeline has no bearing on the story, on the circumstance, on the condition, and that they're out of line by issuing this, and you need that to be a matter of written record. And do you have an attorney representing you in this conversation?
Not at the moment.
Sounding like we need an attorney to write a letter. Sit down with an attorney and catch them up on it, and I'm sure they can draw up a letter. They think they're just battling you. But they have so many rules, and there's all these bylaws and rules and agendas that are going on behind the scenes that you really don't know who knows who and what's going on, and they think they're just, why, sugar? They think they're just fighting little old you.
Mm-hmm.
So now I think we have to wrestle them down on the table, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So have someone send a letter for you.
Okay. And it must be an attorney?
You don't have the wherewithal to respond back properly if they come up with something that you're just not privy to, that's in some of their documentation that's maybe not even made completely public, but still in all their piles of papers of what operates in the HOA.
Okay.
And if you don't meet their deadline, dun, 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 we don't want to be in that mess.
Correct.
So go ahead.
I think I'm hearing, I wanted to be in New Hampshire back on their deadline. I had other plans, and the line in the sand in the or else is there will be no extensions, there will be no this, there will be no that, whereas they flip meetings all over the place for their convenience. And I have other legitimate timelines for other personal things. So I didn't know if I have to be in that meeting, and if I'm hearing you, you're saying just get someone to send a letter by that date, and I don't necessarily have to be in that meeting.
Oh, you need to get a letter sent to them that they need to basically cease and desist. They don't have the right to be pushing this said deadline, and they need to comply with the following XYZ that isn't being done properly. It is not something that is your responsibility. It is their responsibility, and you need someone to push back, and that you, their client, will not be there for the meeting because the meeting can't take place because you're not available. You need someone to kind of protect you. However a lawyer would write it. I'm not a lawyer or a doctor. I can't do that. But if you don't get a lawyer, you better be at that meeting. I don't care if you got a trip to Thailand planned. You are going to the meeting. And you're going to stand there in your authoritative self with all your angels and guides, and you're going to speak your truth, and you're going to go toe-to-toe with them at the meeting, and you're going to be asked, you're going to speak. And if they don't let you speak, well, that turns into a whole nother thing. Then you're going to sue them.
Oh, boy.
It's not an oh, boy. It's called They Are Messing Around. That's all I can say on national radio, so we'll leave it at that. All right.
All right. And this, you said, dropped in my lap. So I'm on the right path with the New Hampshire situation.
You are in the right path, and I really feel that you will enjoy that energy there. It's beautiful. It will definitely resonate a little better than I think Georgia is. And I feel that it'll be a very cultured, warm experience for you.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. I really appreciate you. I will book something separate with you so we can talk a little more personally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But do consult with someone. It'll be worth a few $100 to sit there and talk to them. And they may say, hey, they don't have the right to enforce this date. Send a letter saying this. They may be very nice and say, you don't need me yet. Just do this. So talk to a lawyer. I'm sure that there's got to be a lawyer that specializes in HOA madness.
Madness. Thanks.
It's madness, I tell you, madness. All right.
It is.
It is. All right. Well, thank you so much, Pamela, for your Very fabulous story there. I'm glad serendipitously everything is showing you the signs. And this is, you've had a lot of battles in your time for whatever reason. So apparently you need to be the warrior goddess a little longer and stand your ground of what's your rights and what's your responsibility and take it from there. All right, my dear, thank you so much. And I look forward to having a session with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. I don't know. I think this is going to be the evening of signs from heaven and property management and people. And I think we're going to have an interesting night tonight on the phone lines. I've got to go to Connecticut. I've got Gwen on the line. Gwen, how are you?
I'm well.
Good. Gwen, you have something going on with the house, too? What's going on?
Yes.
I knew it was going to be a house night. Like what? Let's have a house party. Like, what is going on? So you're doing a little bit of a battle as well. Is that also true?
Yes, it is. And
All right.
I able to represent myself in this divorce.
Are you able to represent yourself in the divorce with the big bad monster that you're divorcing? Is that the question?
Yeah.
I know I got attorneys
Yeah.
listening, and they're going to be like, Sarah Spiritual, don't let her do it. Don't let her represent herself. I know you'd like to, but you have to look at what has already occurred around you. It's like systematically people are trying to pull something out from under you so that you can't walk away with what is rightfully yours. Am I correct?
Well, my attorney and I parted ways, and I have less than 20 days to find another attorney, and I am battling to try to find one.
Okay, ask your angels to put you in the hands of the right one.
Okay.
You ask your attorney, you ask the universe to bring you the right attorney. I am the woman who is always in the perfect place at the perfect time, doing the perfect thing with the perfect people.
And then
And you-
I have the home that I'm trying to sell, and then living here in Connecticut where I'm trying to stay afloat.
Yes.
So I have all of these things, and I
Moving
keep asking,
pieces. Yeah.
and I keep trying to manifest, and I feel like I'm not getting what I need.
Okay, so that's a great statement that you made. I feel like I'm not getting what I need. So be clear as to what you need. This is what you're going to be clear with the universe. I require, okay, need makes me feel like you're coming from fear. I require at this time the support from the universe, my guides and my angels and God, the following. And I know it is already resolved in the energy. So whatever the following is, you make your list as you're talking to them. And then you say, I know it's already resolved in the energy, and I require it in the physical manifestation now. And because it is already in the energy, it therefore is able to manifest physically. And I am content. See, you're coming from, when I was talking earlier, that sense of I need a sign, I need help, I'm feeling alone, I'm feeling disconnected, I don't feel like I can do whatever I need to do. I'm feeling fearful, I'm feeling unsupported, all the things I was talking about that we sometimes feel, and the universe is sending us signs, right? Your lawyer isn't with you, you parted ways because it wasn't the right lawyer. They weren't going to represent you well.
No.
They weren't agreeing
Was
with the
not at all.
methodology that you needed to take in order to secure what was yours and, end this marriage or this situationship is what it looks more like to me, so that we can go our separate ways. But you don't come out empty-handed, considering you came to the party with a full basket.
Correct.
Okay. So
and
we
I didn't want to leave the party with an empty basket.
I know that. And if we left it to the lawyer you were going to have, they were going to let you leave with 2 boxes of crackers, and that's about it. Clearly not
Correct.
the right attorney for you.
Correct.
Yes. So you require the universe to support you, and I want you to feel as if it's done. I want you to walk around your house and say it's done. My house is my house. I have the abundance that I need. Everything is severed. I cut the cords that bind me between me and so. That would be said soon to be ex-husband. I am one with the universe. The universe is always supporting me. I am complete. My basket is full. My cup runneth over. This is what I see in my mind. I see you reclaiming things that are yours that seem to have been taken. I see you being free of this manipulation and this systematic plan to rob you of your property. This is how I see it. Is this true?
Okay.
Right?
It's
They're being
78
conniving
years
and
of
crazy on the other
family.
side, correct?
Excuse me?
The other side, your ex, is being conniving and crazy. Is that true?
Correct.
Yeah. So we have to outsmart
Because
the
this
fox.
land has been right. Because this land has been in our family for 78 years.
Right. So do you think your family, who's passed, many of which have passed on, want this property to end up with your ex and some chick? No. No.
No.
Okay. This is your birthright. This is rightfully yours. This is your ancestral birthright. No one has the power to take that from you.
Correct.
In the spiritual world especially. So now we need to position it in the physical so it doesn't blow up in your face.
Right.
So I am the woman who is drawn to the perfect attorney who's going to represent me in the perfect way and know the perfectly great thing to do so I may resolve this with ease and grace. And what is mine through birthright that my ancestors worked and fought for, I shall retain for the legacy of my family. Now you will be able to go back to the show on Facebook or YouTube when it's uploaded on YouTube, and you will be able to take this, write it down, and make it be your mantra. And then you dial for dollars for a lawyer.
Okay.
And you trust the process. But I would not tell you, with all this manipulation and all these lies and all this bait and switch that has gone on that my guides are showing me, I wouldn't send Lil OU in the courtroom. I wrote my own divorce. I filed my own motions. It wasn't an easy thing to do. But I didn't have this stuff on the line. And you can't chance that.
Okay.
All right? All right, my dear.
Okay.
Keep us posted. We will be praying for you. And your birthday's coming, Gwen. Your birthday
Yes, it
comes right after the new moon. The new moon comes on May 27th. Your birthday's right after. I want you, Gwen,
That's
to
right.
write down what you want. And on that new moon, light a candle. Because it's also your new year. It's your birth year. Starts a whole new cycle for you. And I want you to look at that and I want you to be like, okay, this is my year of abundance and success and resolution and all financial property matters. It is meant to be, by the way, in the energy of your soul, a big financial year for you. So it's not meant that you lose financially. It's meant that it is a gain year for you. I hope I've given you enough to run with, enough comfort, the courage to keep standing up and pursuing the right support for yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome,
appreciate
Gwen.
you.
Thank you so much. Bye for
Thank
now.
you. Okay.
Bye. 866-972-7247. I sure do want to talk to you. But wait, I've got to take a minute to hear from my sponsors, and then when we come back, we welcome you here on the Oldies Station on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Did you call me with your soul because you know that you know me? I don't know, but I think I know you. And I think our souls, well, we were meant to connect right here on the Oldie Station on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And we are welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. We are here every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. answering your questions all across the nation. Our friends on Facebook, our friends on YouTube, we're always here to support you and answer what may seem like some of the craziest questions. But remember, your question, as crazy as it might feel, is also answering someone else who has the same question who just didn't pick up the phone. So we love talking to you, and we'd love to see you at our 16-year anniversary at the Expedito Enlightenment Center on June 11th. We're having a party, and I would love if you would be one of my VIPs or one of my guests and have the opportunity to be entered in our raffles to win some fabulous prizes, to have your question answered by me live on the radio, but also live in our center. So we actually get to meet. It's one of those rare occasions that we actually get to connect. I know we're talking about doing some things this summer where we may be out in public a little bit more doing the show, but this is our first step to stepping on out for the summer, because we want to have like a really cool summer tour coming up this summer of 2025. But first, we got to celebrate 16 years with all of you. The show is really a celebration of what you have done to not only help yourself, but help others all across the country, all across the world, learn and grow spiritually by your questions and, of course, Spirit's answers. So we'd love to see you there on June 11th. Go to sarahspiritual.com, and there you'll also see an array of products that I have, as a small amount of my products that I have online, and, of course, the different sessions that I offer. If you'd like to have a personal session with me, you can go to the sessions page on sarahspiritual.com. Well, enough of all that. We've got our friends in Facebook, and apparently there's some conversations going on. One of our Facebook friends was talking about a sign that they saw. I love when they give us signs. And since tonight the monologue was talking about the signs, let's see if we can pull up a Facebook question about the different signs that people are seeing, and see who's on YouTube as well. So we're going to go to our social media pages and pull up a question or two to answer. Let's see who we've got. All right, we've got Anne, and she says, I see crows today. And she also sees the numbers 833 and 933. It's a sign from Spirit. She says, what is it telling me? And so she gives me this question here. So first of all, the crows represent wisdom. They represent the spirit world, and they represent the connection of someone on the other side is with you. It's a very divine, wise connection. Crows often are known in some cultures to represent the dead, loved ones on the other side. In other cultures, the crow also represents wisdom and intuition, and brings you the message of divine wisdom and inspiration. And when I look at the energy around you here, the first thing that I see here is that I look at this as a year of new beginnings for you, Anne Swantek, and that new beginning is going to be opening up to new experiences. I would say that some of the things you felt have not been going right, that perhaps have felt blocked. You've been looking for something to change. This is the year that we flip the switch and make those changes so that new, beautiful things can happen for you. Thank you so much, Anne. We greatly appreciate your question, and especially the crows. They are there today for a reason, and those numbers, repetitive numbers, are kind of coding the energy around you, the 833, the 933. Very important that you pay attention to what you were thinking and what was going on. When you see those numbers, that will help you put the pieces together as they're happening live around you. I know you'll continue to see those numbers for quite a while, so be on the lookout. Thanks so much for your question. Let's take another question from Facebook and YouTube. Let's see who else we have here on our Facebook or YouTube page. Before we go back to our phone lines, we have Jessica the Goddess. So she says, hey, Sarah, how are you? I'm great, Jessica. Thank you for asking. And she says, I finally got a job offer to property manager role at a new company, but yet my current boss wants me to stay. What should I do? Jessica the Goddess, we have to weigh out the pros and the cons here. First of all, let me tell you that this year is your personal power year. It's truly meant to be a great year for your career. And yes, your property manager you have wants you to stay, but you have to ask yourself this really important question. What made me want to look for some other location to work at? Now, remember, the grass is not always greener on the other side, but I feel like the new company has a little bit more diversification. I feel like it's going to offer you perhaps additional money, revenue, bonuses, paychecks. So I feel like it could be more beneficial. I feel like you've learned all you can from your current boss. What shall you do? You have to remember what made you want to look for another job and take a look at where you are and say, do I see what was making me feel dissatisfied enough to look for another job, changing here at my current location? What is it something that's changeable? Is it something that you could talk to your boss and say, listen, the reason why I want to leave is this, this, and this? Are those things that we can shift and change? I don't think that they are, Jessica. I feel like they're kind of in their protocol and how they handle things, and that's just the rhythm of how they are. So you dig down deep and ask yourself that question, and intuitively you're going to get your answer. I feel it's a good opportunity at the next place. So do you want familiar, or do you want to skip out and take a new chance, a new opportunity to prove yourself and grow in a different dynamic, and also have the ability, from what I can see, according to my spirit guides, making some more money? Jessica the Goddess, keep us posted, please. Drop me a line and let me know what happens with this job and what your boss has to say. I know he wants to keep you, but why do we want to leave? Don't forget to answer that question. Thanks so much for your YouTube question. We've got to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. And I've got to pop on, and I've got Cindy, and Cindy is in West Palm Beach. Cindy, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, Sarah. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. I know, Cindy, you kind of feel a little like someone let the air out of your tire. Is that true?
Yes. Yes. I've been going through a lot, I want to say the past couple months, but I think it's been a year now. And some new people have moved into our complex that, they're just not nice people. And I've been having a lot of problems with them. And just on Mother's Day, my sweet cat died. She passed away.
Oh, no.
And it's just been horrible, especially without her.
What is your little cat's name, please?
Bella.
So I was, it's funny, I in my head, I was like Tinkerbell, because she reminds me of like something magical, like a little fairy kind of kitty. I don't know, just her energy has a very mystical, magical feeling, right? She was a very sweet, light-hearted cat. Is that true?
Yes, and I'm not sure what happened with her. I mean, the vet had told me her pancreas and her kidneys were shutting down, and then they suspected a few lumps that she had of maybe cancer.
Yeah.
But
her kidneys were
when
what?
She cried out.
Yeah, her kidneys shut
she
down.
cried out. On Mother's Day, I didn't want to have to put her down, but she couldn't walk, she couldn't stand, it was terrible.
I understand.
And I didn't want her to hurt. So I ended up putting her down.
Yeah. You did the right thing
just
for her.
Killed me.
I understand. You did the right thing for her. And she'll come to you in a dream. You'll see her.
Well, I saw her face a few days ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
She'll give you signs.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because before she was starting to not feel well, she was a very playful little cat, correct?
Yes.
And I don't see her as that old
sudden,
either. Is that also true?
No.
Yeah.
Well, she was 12. Well,
that's not old in cat lives, no.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what happened.
Yeah. What happened is, unfortunately, it was her time, right? And you spared her the suffering, and it came quick, and you got to enjoy her almost up till the end.
Because 2 weeks ago she was fine, and then she wasn't.
Yeah.
In 1 week she depleted, and I don't know what happened.
It's nothing you
it was
did.
like a whammy.
Yeah, it's nothing you did. It's just the body shut down. And I'm going to say something to you, and I say it to all our pet owners, and we even have to say it for ourselves. We don't really know some of the ingredients that are in foods, and I've heard different things because I follow different groups on Facebook when I can, and there's different cat foods. Some are a little harder on the kidneys than others, and so you have to be careful. Like some of these treats, like I have a little cat Cleopatra at home. I'm like, don't give her too many treats, right? But she'll con anybody out of a treat, right? But too much of those things aren't good for their kidneys, right? It's just not good for them. So, it's very possible that she was just exposed to one little teeny toxic ingredient in her food that you had no idea is in there. I'm not saying this is your fault, but just giving you, and that began to weaken her body, and then the kidneys they gave out. But here's the best part. I know she's gone, and that's not a good part. But the best part is she really didn't suffer. You had beautiful moments with her up until the end. And you were her mommy. And I know it was sad to put her down on Mother's Day, but, that's a bond that will keep you as her mommy forever. It's truly, a love that the two of you had. And unfortunately, we have bizarre, my guides could say your neighbors are bizarre neighbors, but, pay them no mind, put them in the energy of the violet consuming flame to consume and annihilate anything less than perfection, to keep their bad temperaments and their noise, their just personalities at bay, away from you. And you just focus on your sanctuary and building everything for yourself. When I look, Cindy, at where you are, this year is a year of change, and it is a year of what may seem like challenges, but it's a closing out of things that no longer serve you. In this type of year where we have some challenges, your cat would be a prime example of the challenge that we would have in that year. So that's where you are in the cycle. And unfortunately, you're going to have a couple things that popped up. And so as we move towards your birthday, things will start to feel a little easier, a little lighter. And I will tell you this. Bella can come back to you. Now, how do I know that? Because in about 2 or 3 months, there's going to be a kitten born. And somehow you'll find that kitten, however it comes to you, and Bella will be there. Bella's coming. She'll come back. Sometimes animals come back.
Really?
And I feel she's going to come back, and you'll know when you look in this one kitten's eyes. So you be on a lookout for a litter of kittens in the next 3 months.
Do you know what color she will be?
More than one color. And I don't see orange. That's all I can tell you.
Because Bella was white with a little bit of black and brown.
There you go. I see
She
more
was
than
a
one
Siamese
color.
mix.
So, very smart cat. Very smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's like
Very
I don't
intelligent.
know if all pets are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like she seemed to know when I was sick or when I went to bed when to come to me. I mean, she just.
Yeah. She's going to come back.
I will forever.
She's she was very mystical. That's why I wanted to call her Tinkerbell. Like, she's just very mystical and very magical. And a cat with that spiritual ability can find their way back in a reincarnation. But give it 3 months. In the meantime, mourn the physical experience of the loss of the body of Bella, but don't mourn her spirit, because her spirit is still with you, will come back in another physical form. She will find her way. I've got to pop off right now, Cindy, but I thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, sorry for your loss. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. We're going to go to Boca. I've got Nancy on the line. Nancy, how are you tonight?
Hi. I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good. Glad to connect with you, Miss Nancy. How did you find us?
I have actually been to your establishment,
Oh, great. You've been to the center.
and I love it. And you did a reading for me, and you were amazing. You named names,
Ooh.
and you were right on.
Oh, well, I'm so glad I was able to serve
And
you.
I really want to come back. And tonight has been really interesting because I have a few things written down, but the first two girls were talking about HOA problems. I'm in a condo. I have the same thing.
Right.
All I wanted to ask about actually was a relationship issue. I mean, is there anyone there? And then finances. But, I'm going to come see you, so I don't want to take up anybody's time too much. But this is crazy what's going on tonight. And the lady that just talked about her cat,
Yeah.
I had the same thing happen.
Yeah. And it's all a sign, right? I mean, in the opening, I said, hey, if you're listening, if you tune in, if we call Jiminy Crickets, it's a sign. Like, we're all meant to be here together. We're all meant to connect and share our stories, and we can learn from others. I love what a lot of HOAs represent, and I know a lot of people try very hard on the HOA boards, so I most certainly would never bash them. But I also know that there are some very intricate personalities on some of these HOA boards, and sometimes they can be a little bit complicated, and they make things complicated, and they hone in on one little line in the bylaws, and they don't give thought and consideration to the people who are actually living in their building. And then unfortunately everything's your responsibility, but when it actually is their responsibility, they try to push it off on you. So I know it gets really hard and very complicated. So I just want you to know that when it comes to your HOA, there is some wiggle room for reasoning here. So I just feel like there are two women on the board that they're making it more difficult than it has to be. That's just what I see. I don't know who they are. We can talk about that more privately. So it's not on national radio. But as far as love, if I were to tell you or meeting, we are looking to meet someone, correct, Miss Nancy?
Just a companion.
Okay. All right. Well,
that
guess
likes that likes what I like.
So here's what I see. I see that this year of 2025, as we move to the month of July, and we spin you through the year into the month of May of 2026, is the perfect time for you to meet someone, Nancy. It is a very social year. It's interesting. I was listening to someone who is a matchmaker, and she said that you want to go to events, you want to volunteer, you want to do things that put you out in public, but in your community. So you meet someone that's in your basic vicinity. You want to go to something where it's not about, I want to meet somebody. It's just I want to go participate in this, and then let love and serendipity find the way to bring you the right partner. And I do feel that that is coming for you, and that this year does bring that. Finances really start to perk up and pep up 2025 into 2026. 2026 should bring you a time of kind of maneuvering something financially for yourself. I don't know if you might take a move. You never know. You may decide, I'm out of here, going to just jump this popsicle trail and go. So it's going to be a good financial year. It'll be a year of investments and moving money around so the money works for you, so you feel like you have more money. So that's
wonderful.
what we have for you so far, Nancy. I look forward to seeing you at the center. Just call the center and register for your appointment there, and I will see you soon. All right.
And one more quick question, if you have a minute. Health, is it going to be okay? Because I have issues right now, but I'm trying to work through them.
But some of them involve you making adjustments. Is that true?
Well, it's thyroid issues.
Mm-hmm. But we have to take a medicine or something. Is that true?
Yeah, okay. I do, and I don't want to, but I'm doing what the doctors are saying to do. So
for now, For now. There is a
Okay.
gentleman known as the medical medium. His name is Anthony Williams. He has a book called Cleanse to Heal. He also has a book called The Medical Medium. But he also has a book, I think it's Thyroid Healing. And it's all about things you can eat, drink, and do to balance out your thyroid and make your thyroid better.
Excellent.
So I would take a look at that. You can Google it. He has Facebook groups. You can begin to look at some of his suggestions, see what you can incorporate. I'll never tell you not to take medicine that the doctor prescribes because I'm not a doctor, can't do that. But I will tell you that there are so many things you can do to help strengthen your body, and then you, along with your doctor, might be able to get yourself off those medicines.
Definitely. I totally agree with you, and I can't thank you enough. I think you're phenomenal.
Thank you.
And I will be at your event on June 11th, and I will be seeing you maybe before that. Thank you so much, Sarah. You are wonderful, and you know what you're talking about. And like I said, when I walked in that time that I met you, you named names instantly, and you weren't wrong. So thank you. Thank you for everything.
My pleasure. Pleasure to be of service to you. And I most certainly and humbly thank my spirit guides for always being there for me and giving me what I need to support all of you. Thank you so much. Have a great night. We'll see you
Thank
June
you. Good
11th
night. Yes.
at our party. All right.
Yes, definitely.
Bye
Thank
for
you.
now.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sarah.
866-972-7247. Let's grab another quick call. Let's go to Miami. I got Lana on the line. Lana, how are you tonight? Are you with us, Lana?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, Lana.
Yes,
Is this
good.
your
How are you?
Good. Is this your first time calling?
Yes,
Well, good. How did you hear about us?
through a friend.
Oh, good. And so, Lana, what is your question for us? How can I assist you tonight?
Well, I kind of have two questions, but the first question is about business, about financial.
Okay. The first word I wrote down here on my paper is career. Second word I wrote down as I was connecting with you is business. This is a year for you to financially invest in yourself. Is there something that you want to do contractually or independently for yourself? Is that something that you're thinking about?
Yes.
It is a good year to start something for yourself and grow it to be your own baby. When I take you into 2026, I feel like everything's kind of all systems go. They take me to this June, so that'll be next month, and they tell me that there's something that you need to change in order to get making movements to start off on your own business. Like I feel like you're going to have to juggle for a minute to get everything going. Is that true, Lana?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. What is it that you want to do?
I want to open up like a medical spa.
Perfect. So it's going to take some maneuvering and jumping through some hoops. So you want to start that, and really you want to start that in June, July. Really push through. And I know someone who just recently opened one up in North Palm Beach, and they got it open pretty quickly. You know, they got everything lined up. They got the equipment, and it's something that you most certainly can do. And you're going to do it in Miami?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So that is something you
So
can
you think
definitely
it's
do. It is a great idea. You want to advertise, you want to promote, you want to make sure you have the right people there, the right estheticians, the right people to do the IV therapies. Maybe you want to have some holistic service there, some chiropractic service. You know, you have to decide what are you going to have there and what are your offerings going to be? What are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on things like Botox, facials? What is
I'm more
your
like
goal?
IV therapy and like
Okay.
IV therapy, vitamin injections.
Perfect. So that's something that you can put together and make yourself a spa with. You might not even need that much square footage for that, so that could save on some costs there, depending how how fancy and how big you want to go. So that is definitely something. And it's something we're going to do with someone else. Is there someone who's going to partner with you or be an investor, please, Lana? Because I feel like somebody else is going to be a part of this with you.
Yes.
Okay. I see that, so I feel like that would be a good partnership. Your type of call, Lana, would be the perfect call for me to have a private one-on-one session with you, because I would love to coach you on how to put this together and kind of help you in going through some of the specifics. But we have like 1 more minute for our call before I have to pop off on commercial. Is there a secondary question for me?
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to find out if you could, like, I also have a daughter. Do you have any feelings or something that comes into your head? Because I'm going through some stuff with her now. So,
what is your daughter's birthday?
5/14/24.
She's a little temperamental. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just feel like she's not advancing as the way you feel like she should. I feel like she's a little too reactory, right? I feel like she's not sleeping right. So we want to, did you go to the doctor and check and see where she is in the developmental process here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So remember, you nurture her soul and you feed her with love. And I really want to say this to you, and you find a way to detox her body a little bit. I feel like there's just too much of something in her body and it's just not agreeing with her. And it's causing her not to be as communicative as you think she should be, just a little bit more moody and temperamental. And I feel like there's some things you can do to kind of balance that out. Again, this would be a perfect topic for us to have a personal session. All right, my dear. But I can't diagnose. I'm not a doctor. But if you feel she's exhibiting those things, this is what I'm getting from Spirit. Is that true?
Yes, that's correct.
All
Actually.
right. So let's not give her a label.
Very on point.
Okay, let's not give her a label. Let's talk about things that you can do to detox her and kind of help her be a little bit more advanced, and call the angels in and the healing angels, and she can make a big improvement if you believe and you do the things that Spirit suggests. I look forward to talking to you in the future and helping you open the spa and helping you navigate your beautiful little daughter, who is precious, by the way. And I look forward to seeing you. Perhaps go to sarahspiritual.com and let's book a session. Thanks so much. God bless you, Lana. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, if you're on hold, don't go away, because we're going to take your call. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, pop your question in. Don't go away. Share the light, share the love. I'm Sarah Spiritual on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682 0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
Where will we go?
Will you change with me? We are the light, and we are the world, and your vibration, your frequency impacts everything. So we sure hope you're thinking good thoughts, feeling good feelings, and really glad to have you joining us here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We are welcoming you here on our show. We are here from 6:30 to 9 p.m. every Wednesday night. We've got an exciting show coming up on June 11th that is live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. If you'd like to come meet me in person, be a VIP, be one of our guests, register at sarahspiritual.com. We're going to have raffles and giveaways, and you'll be able to ask your question live with me, and we'll get to meet. It's one of the few times that we get to hang out with all of you in the public, so we would love to have you at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Go to Sarah Spiritual and get your registration and be my VIP. Well, we're going to go back to our phone lines. We've got a lot of people on hold, and I want to get to as many people as possible. So I've got to go to Massachusetts, and I've got Wendy in Massachusetts. How are you, Wendy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. My little Sagittariuses are all over the place. I think I've talked to more Sagittariuses this month than anybody. They're all like just got stuff going on. So Wendy, what is your burning question for me?
I am in the process of selling my home that I've lived in for 20 years with my kids. A little stressed out about it because I kind of thought it's only been on for a week, and I'm probably crazy thinking that it should have gone already, but every other house in my neighborhood has gone within a week. So I guess I'm just kind of trying to figure out if it's actually going to go soon. Putting a pretty financial debt on me because I've been doing this on my own for the last 10 years.
Yes, and when I first heard your voice, the first word I wrote was money, money, money. So I see money for you. This is the perfect year to get this house sold, and I know we want to sell it. It's only been on for a week, but you also have to take a look at the week that it was on. It was Mother's Day. You know, we've got a lot of people in graduations. People's minds are a little scattered in the month of May. We've got Memorial Day coming up, so some people are a little mentally checked out. But, you know, once June hits, people get really serious about where we're going to move, where we're going to find a house, got to get our kids in school. So I really feel like you're going to start to see some movement as we get closer to June. And I also know that there's going to be we have a showing planned coming up, please.
Yeah, I have one coming up Saturday. We did one last weekend, and we're doing another one this Saturday.
Yep, I see a showing, so just be ready to show. And one thing that really works really well if you find it's not moving is you talk to Sarah Spiritual. You go to Sarah Spiritual's website, and you get my Good Vibration spray. And that was actually written in the Palm Beach Post as a spray that helps people sell their homes because it puts good vibrations. It changes the energy in the house. So when people walk into the house, they can see and feel themselves there. But let's see what happens Saturday. I have a good feeling. I do feel like it's going to be able to sell. This is the perfect year to make that transition for you. And what town are you going to move to? Just a different spot in your town?
No, I'm going to move to Quincy, which is closer to the city of Boston. I'm kind of in the suburbs towards the South Coast. So I've always wanted to live in the city since I was 18. My plan was to live there, but life took me a different route. And so I'm thinking I'm going to move to the city. My ex-boyfriend came back around and we're talking again, but I'm a little bit nervous about that.
Okay, what is his birthday, Wendy?
12/27/83.
Oh, yeah, he's a little intense and complicated. Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
I think that's what I'd like to attract.
Well, this year is meant to put him in a better flow. I feel like he's been a little bit out of balance, and this year is meant to kind of put him in balance. I see here that 2022 into 2023 was just, I feel like he was going through a hard time. So I'm not sure you got the best version of this ex-boyfriend at the time that you were together.
Definitely
Does
did
that
not.
make
Yeah.
sense, right? So he was caught up in a little bit of a hot mess thing. He knows that he he's not always present for you. He knows that emotionally he didn't show up for you. I think he has a better understanding. And I feel like he communicated that with you. Is that also true?
He did, yes, he did.
So we give him a try. If not, we don't have to take him for a ride again, right? We just give him a try. Right? We get to try before we buy, honey. So, let's see what he's got this go around, right?
Yeah, I did tell him that he had to date me this time. He just doesn't get to have a relationship with me again without putting in the effort this time around.
Yes, and he's very he can be selfish, and he needs to learn how to be more aware of a partner. And this is what he has to learn. So, patience. He means well, and he can be
he does.
He can be a very loyal person. It's just he's gotten away with being kind of wishy-washy and non-committal all this time.
Yeah,
So,
he does what he wants. That's his ammo, yeah.
Yeah. So, can he show up in the ways that you require to have a relationship? Can he do that? That's the question.
That is the big question.
Okay.
Yep. That is definitely it.
So that will determine what we do with that. You'll know more. I definitely would say give him through the summer, into September. Let's see. Were you with him at all in 2017? Who were you with in 2017?
I was 2017. I was with a different person in 17. Bit of a alcoholic.
Yeah, difficult, dramatic ending. It was not a pretty thing, right? Okay. So
no, not at all.
We want to be careful that we have cleared all the negative energies from that, because one of the other things is that, I'm going to say this, and I mean you no offense, but sometimes your energy, because you don't feel emotionally safe, you feel like you need to kind of control because you can't trust. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does make sense, yeah.
Okay. So you need to, if you're going to take this ex-boyfriend in, you need to be like, okay, I'm going to trust him until he proves that he can't be trusted, and then I'll be done.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much for your call, Wendy, and we'll put in a prayer.
Thank you so much.
For your place to sell. And did you put a St. Joseph statue in the ground outside your house?
I did that today.
Good girl. You see, so you're on
today.
your way. So St. Joseph hates being upside down. So he will help make your house sell. So keep me posted. All right, Wendy. Bye
I definitely
for now.
will. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
866-972-7247. We're so glad to be connecting to all of you right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation. And we're going to go back to our phone lines, and I've got to go back to Miami. I've got Brianna. Brianna in Miami. Brianna, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How's it going?
I'm doing great, Brianna. Good to talk to you. How did you hear about us, Brianna?
A really good friend of mine recommended you guys to me. She's been hyping you guys up for the last few months, and I'm finally making my way to call you guys. Or you, I guess. It's just you. you and all the spirits.
All my spirits. There is a bunch of guys behind me. I got a couple of girls, too, but I got a group of people behind me, and they're like, psst, tell them this, tell them that. So I've got my own little spiritual posse here. So welcome, Brianna. Let me just begin by telling you that this year represents your personal power. This is an important year. You better put your boundaries down. You better draw your line in the sand. Don't let anybody disrupt you, because this is your year of you, your career, your advancement, your growth. It is all about you. And anyone who tells you you're being selfish, they can, talk to the hand, because you need to focus on you. You have been taking care of other people and trying to be the good friend, trying to be the good daughter, trying to do all these things. And now you have to do what you feel inside of you, compelled to do, what your spirit, your soul is telling you to do. This is what we need to do. Does this make sense to you?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah. It's a very important time because this lays a really strong foundation for you for the next 6 years. No pressure.
Yeah.
Are we trying to
Next
make
6
some
years, wow.
decisions around career at this time?
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I just made a really big decision, like kind of a leap of faith.
Good.
And it was exactly that. But the message I typed out was, I'm making a big leap of faith. And I almost thought, like, if there isn't, I know I do carry a lot of spirits with me, very close to me. And I just wanted to know, like, if they had any, like, messages for me or, like, what they have to say. And in particular, I'm looking for something that's lost. So I feel like it's this one thing that's stopping me, and I can't leave this current exact place and go to the new opportunity that's waiting for me without finding this one item. All of that together. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this, that everything I just said to you came from the guides and the angels that are all in cahoots together, okay? They're all in the same place as our loved ones, our angels, our guides, your guides, my guides. And so this is to reaffirm that your leap of faith is the right leap of faith. And no matter how weird it gets or maybe uncomfortable or you may feel like, uh-oh, you just keep going. And when people say, I don't know, you go, this is what I'm called to do. This is who I am. This is what I need to do. And it will be perfect for you. Now, when I look at the energy around you, I do see Archangel Michael very much around you. I'm also seeing the energy of the Virgin Mary, but Brianna, I really want to call it the Virgin Milagrosa, Miraculous Mary, with you as well. Does that make sense to you, honey?
Oh my gosh, I just bought archangels, and I have Archangel Michael sitting next to me, and La Milagrosa out, like she's the angel protecting my house, like engraved in my house right now. That is the, if anything, like when I was younger, the that I've known of. Oh my gosh.
Yes. And so they are with you, okay, and very strong around you. So they will always give you the perfect thing to do and say at the right time. They're always going to guide you. There is a female on the other side connected to you on the family side, a loved one on the other side. She stands above you. She feels like she's in the grandmother energy. Grandmother past, please, Brianna.
Yeah.
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 So I have grandmother energy standing above you in support. And you have something of hers as well, yes?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And and then also, who prayed the rosary, please? Who has the rosary?
I do. That's
okay.
The envelope.
So you pray the rosary.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
Wow. Yeah, thank you. I do. It's in the envelope, and I wanted to start praying the rosary, and I kind of came back into church, and I just wanted to start praying the rosary again, and that's what I'm looking for in the envelope.
That's what you're looking for is your rosary, right?
In the envelope. And it was given to me by my grandmother, my first communion.
I see. I know. So you're not alone. And this show is about the signs that we get from the universe. And if anybody got a sign tonight, it's you, right?
Oh my, yeah, absolutely. I had been feeling like, I know I was just saying I kind of, you have your spirits around you and like all that I feel like I've been trying to almost reach out or they've been trying to talk to me and like it's been blocked. Like I've been blocked and I can't
you're not
access
blocked.
myself.
You're not blocked. You are just trying too hard, okay? Just let it be. I am in the flow of all that is, and therefore all that is available to me. I'm in the flow of all there is, and therefore all that is available to me. Right? You just need to just put yourself in the calm, easy flow. Right? Your grandmother was a good-hearted spirit. She was someone who made people feel comfortable, nurtured, right? She was a strong woman, but she was comfortable and nurturing, right? Don't get her mad, but she was comfortable and nurturing, right? And
Yeah.
Coffee, right? Drink coffee. Pretend you're talking to her. She's with you. All right.
Really quick while I have you, sorry. By any chance, you mentioned grandma. Is there a grandfather figure? I recently lost my grandfather, and I was way closer to him than I've always channeled my grandmother. Like, she's kind of always been like my right hand to me. My grandfather's recently passed, and I kind of hope that he's like there with me as well alongside her.
But he passed in this past year, in the past like 3 months or something, please?
Yeah, he passed it's 3 months ago to the T.
Okay, so he's with you. I write the number 3. He tells me he passed 3 months ago. You're my confirmation of that. And so he is with you. He's not as telepathically as chatty as grandmother because he's just checking into the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not strong enough in the energy and settling in. But Brianna, they are with you, and you're not alone, all right? They don't want you to cry. They want you to know that they're with you every step of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Brianna. I'd love to continue this conversation in a personal session one day, or maybe come on up to the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I have a lot of friends come on up to West Palm Beach and visit my metaphysical center. If you're into spiritual things, I make products like you can't believe, baths and sprays and incense, and we've got all sorts of mojo hojo cool stuff there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, Brianna. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we're going to take a brief break, and then we've got to pop on. We've got a lot of people on hold, so if you're on hold, please don't hang up. We'll be right with you when we come right back here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on the Oldie Station. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back.
Know me, do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. 0956 or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
We are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We are on the oldie station, so if you're listening at 95.3 or 95.9 or 96.9 or 106.9 or 104.3 in Miami, 104.7 or 103.1, we're so glad you're joining us. And I'm glad we have the opportunity to talk to all of you, answering your questions. And we're here every Wednesday night, 6:30 to 9 p.m., answering your questions. And we have to go to Boca Boca, and I've got Carmen on the line. Carmen, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. I'm great, and yourself?
I'm doing well. I want you to look at this year as we get close to your birthday, and I want you to be like, I got a new attitude. It's like new, fresh energy. I feel like there's a rebirth coming for you. There's a release of old patterns. I feel like we want to step into something with harmony and fun and advancement. So it's a powerful year coming up for you on your birthday. So I want you to look forward to that and use that in your calculating your goals and manifestations. Does this resonate with you and make sense, Carmen?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I said I wanted to be in my dream by my birthday this year.
Ah, very good, very good. And so what is the question for us, please?
Okay, I know I sound really cheery, but I'm like surrounded by obstacles right now. And I've been pretty calm and peaceful and really faithful about it. And nothing has been moving. Things have just been so still and so quiet. And I have very high credentials. I've been having a hard time like getting a new job. And I've got some deadlines, and I need something to come through. And I'm just like, I've been praying and praying. So I went to the beach today just to kind of zen out. And I got a message that I was harboring unforgiveness. Mm-hmm. And I knew it was true, justify it. So I truly repented. And I was upset with myself like all day. And I finally got over it like about 6 o'clock. And then I saw a reminder for your show. And I'm like, oh, yes. So I was hoping you had some messages concerning, is this situation am I going to get the help that I've been calling out for, or do I need to prepare for something else?
Well, if we prepare for something else, that means we don't believe, right? So the universe is all right. But we live in a physical world. We're in a physical world, so I understand you're like, do I need a backup plan? Or am I sticking to the plan and trusting the angels are going to lift me up? Plan? So,
I didn't mean to cut you off. No, I'm not prepared for a backup plan. I'm prepared for what I asked for. Yeah. And I was wondering if my little unforgiveness situation was the holdup.
We are always the holdup to the manifestation process. We are all, this is why I think we make our angels nutty, because we're like, this is what we want, right? And then we're like, oh, we have these conversations with ourselves, and then we stay in our feelings. When I was talking in the opening, our low vibrational feelings can really cause us a lot of harm. And the spoken word is powerful. Our thoughts are powerful energetically, but our feelings, because those are churning inside of us. So when we work with the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Buddha, Mother Mary, they tell us we have to govern our thoughts and emotions. So you have to be the steward of your own being and manage yourself. So now that we have released the forgiveness, you can no longer beat yourself up, because then you're recognizing the flaw inside of you. And we need to know that you're created in God's image and God's perfection. So your imperfection are perfect because they're used as a learning tool. You learn the lesson, then you, as they say, let it go. So you let it go, and you say to yourself, I am the woman who is manifesting the perfect desire in time for my birthday. Financially, I am free of limitations. I am at a workplace, a job that brings me joy and accomplishment and abundance, and allows me to function in this dense physical world with ease and grace, so that I may be more fully centered spiritually and forever closer to God. That begins your mantra. That tells you what you're putting into the universe. And any time your insides go, I don't know, we're getting close, I got a deadline, I don't know, no one's answering me, I'm not getting a job, and you go through the whole conversation inside your head, you'd say, no, you fooled me once, you won't fool me again. Those negative thoughts, God is an open door that no man can shut. And you keep seeing yourself going through that door to that new opportunity, to that new experience. You happen to be in a remember I said by your birthday, we feel rebirthed. Remember, without knowing your question. Well, leading up to the rebirth is what? The poor little butterfly in the chrysalis, broken down to liquid, can't be very pretty. So of course you're uncomfortable. Of course you're in an angst. Of course you're sitting there going, what am I doing wrong? Which way do I go? I don't know. Because your insides are trying to break a cycle. And when I spin you back, and I go back in time, and I take us to 2015 into 2016, then I say, oh, what was going on? That was a challenging time for you, 2016. Is that true?
That's an understatement.
Okay. And how would I know that? Because I know that you are in this clearing path from what I see, and it's like just shaking off all the ickies. And while you're doing that, the universe is repositioning everything so that the boat that you missed in 2016 that took you off to the wrong deserted island with crazy people, now we're heading to this new beautiful paradise of life, right? The paradise of your birthright that God has for you. And as we move you in that direction, the most powerful thing can happen for you. Because now everything's been realigned, and you have this better version of yourself to receive it. And so it'll come with more ease and grace. And every time you have an emotion and a feeling and we get out of sorts, what happens is the universe is like, oh God, move it to the left. She's having a meltdown. All right, slow it up. Oh no, God. Right? So it's like stagehands behind the scenes of Act 2 in a Broadway show going, which way do we put the pieces? What's going on? Why aren't the lights on? Because you're not emotionally charged to create. You've been emotionally charged with what if and the angst, and I'm happy you discovered the forgiveness piece, right? That's important. So you let that go and we move forward. Does this make sense to you and resonate with you?
Yeah, it does. And I totally agree with you. What I was really concerned about, I need something to happen like in the next couple, like 2 to 3 days. And I was wondering, I don't know how to tap into my spirit guides. And I know that you do. So that's really,
I know, but
do you see the help
you don't
that I've been asking for?
need it to happen the way you think you need it to happen, as long as something happens and you end up moving through this period, you'll be fine, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's a legal situation,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to have it squared away in a matter of days. Yeah. So I'm just going to trust. I'm
Just
always,
trust. Just trust.
Yeah, things always work out good for me.
Yeah.
So
In the spirit world, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, as long as it works out in the end, you land on your feet, it'll be fine.
okay.
The
I have
minute
one
we
last question for you.
pinch the minute you pinch, Carmen, the energy,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell, I need this and I need it in 2 days, that's what you're closing the energy. I am the woman who
Okay.
will have this resolved at the perfect time in the perfect way, because my angels and
Oh
my
my God.
guides and the authority of God that acts through me always has the perfect resolution. And I answer to God's authority, not man's authority. I live by God's justice, not man's justice.
Oh my God, I'm laughing at myself because everywhere I go, I keep getting told, God's timing, God's timing.
I know.
Okay, I get it. I got it through my big, thick head. God, you're right. You are absolutely right. And I really appreciate you saying those things to me.
You're welcome.
I got one more question for you.
Yes, go right ahead.
I broke up with my boyfriend in November. We never stopped, we would spend time with each other, but we just started dating again. The end goal was marriage. What can you tell me about him?
Well, what's his birthday?
April 23rd, 62.
Well, he's going through a lot too this year. He's got a lot of changes going on.
Oh, yes. He's coming out of a...
Yeah, this is not his best year. So you're not even getting the best version of him. And my spirit guides are always like, why did we go backwards? Because we don't trust that there's someone else on the other side that would be different and more in alignment with the new vibration of who you are. Okay, well, you can go backwards. So the end goal is marriage.
He had too many cooks in the kitchen, and he has taken huge strides to rectify that. So, I'm just observing right now.
Okay.
And
I'm
I
going
quit
to
dating other people.
That's fine.
I wasn't ready, and I hurt them. Yeah, so I just quit.
Okay.
Because that's not where my heart was. My heart was with him.
All right, but is it your heart or your wounded self? That's the question. Okay. So
no, it's not my wounded self.
You have to give him the compassion and the energy to go through what he's going through, because, the next 6 months he's got his own stuff to deal with. So he may not be the best version of who he's saying he wants to show up to be. We're not making excuses. But I will tell you this.
Right.
If, even though Spirit knows no time, if we are in February and we have not really progressed to you feel comfortable that we're going to get to what the end goal was originally, then you'll be making different choices for yourself, because you'll be coming into your line in the sand power time, and universe is going to push you like, stay or go now, Carmen, and you're going to know. Okay? I've got to pop off.
Okay.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank
All right.
you.
You're welcome. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual, right here on the Oldies Station. We're going to pop over to Port St. Lucie, and I've got another Carmen. Carmen's hanging out in Port St. Lucie. Carmen, how are you?
I'm good, Sarah. How you doing today?
Good. Do we have a let's get out of the box, let's get out of the routine, let's break this popsicle job question? What's your question?
So, I don't know if you remember, but I am moving. Mm-hmm. I know you said I was going to move, and I said, yeah, I was looking. So I was looking and asking. I was just happened to have a gathering with friends, and one of my friends is like, hey, someone I know is a snowbird, and they're looking to rent their place right next to me. And that works out really, really great, because I was looking at the different rents and stuff like that, getting something smaller. And I'm going to rent something that's fully furnished, but it's going to be like half of what I pay now. So that is a big plus. And now I've just been, I was waiting to hear back from a job in Palm Beach Gardens, and I haven't heard back yet. They said they're still, trying to figure things out. But I'm kind of at the point right now where, like you're saying, like reassessing, like, do I even want to take a job like this, another job like this? Do I just want to take something like a lower level job with less pay and less stress?
No.
I mean, the move is temporary. It's supposed to be like 6 months only. So I am kind of like at a crossroads trying to figure out what I need to look for.
All right, we don't want to go less, and I know we were going to say less stress,
Okay.
but we do want to make a job move when one presents itself in the universal time, because we want to prepare ourselves and pad ourselves financially in a way that we slim down some of the expenses. You are temporarily. I'm sure you'll have some things in storage, but that most certainly isn't going to equal your rent,
Yeah.
so that'll be great. And
Right.
when you move yourself forward, it is important for you to know that everything you're doing in this physical world is only a temporary solution to meet the obligations of the matrix so that you can then fulfill your soul's destiny, which is to do more along the energy of healing and kind of inspiring others, ministering to others. There's so much more for you, but you're not in a place
Right.
emotionally, spiritually, and even courageously to say, all right, I'm going to quit my job and I'm just going to go do this, right? Because you just don't know how that looks and
Right.
feels yet. But there is a way, and you
Right.
can do it, and it will come together for you.
Okay.
All right. Job in Palm Beach Gardens, somewhere after June 10th, they should have a little bit more together. They're going through some kind of restructure, reorg, so that makes me put a question mark over them. Like, they're reevaluating things, moving people around. There's something going on with the higher-ups, so I don't know what you know, what you're privy to. So we'll see what they have to say.
I mean, I know they were growing and they have like a couple of new big projects going on. I mean, that's what they said. So,
Yeah,
but that's
they're-
all I know.
They're moving people around. They're reorganizing. There's
Right.
something going on to meet those expectations, and then they would need to put you in the perfect place. And a new person and onboarding of a new person is really not their priority right now, but they should be in a better
Right.
place around June 10th and after. So ideally, we'll hear from them in the next few weeks.
So would that be a good place to go to if they offer me something, or should I just keep looking?
Keep looking in the meantime. I don't feel it would be... Do you have to go into the office?
Yes.
Well, then you have to ask yourself if you want to travel from Port St. Lucie to Palm Beach Gardens every day.
Actually, I'm moving like about 30 minutes south of where I am, so it would only be like a 35 to 40-minute drive.
Okay. All things to consider. Keep looking, and let's see what happens. And you can always ask me in class. All right, Carmen?
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's see what the answers come back as from Palm Beach Gardens. Thanks so much,
Okay.
Carmen. We appreciate you
Great.
listening and your
Thanks.
call. Bye for now.
Yep.
866-972-7247. Let's go to Wellington. I've got Susan on the line. Susan, how are you? Good to have you joining us here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
Great to hear your voice again, always. Been many, many, many years, over 20, that I've been coming to you. But anyway, one of the things, advice that you gave me was, 2 words that stuck out was pay attention. And, you know, I pay attention a lot anyway, to synchronicities and little things. Like today I was out working in the yard, and, you know, the rabbit that I feed was running. It's a wild rabbit we feed, was running across, and there was an iguana in the street, and there was a snake that crossed my path, and there's butterflies, and it's like, oh my goodness. But all kinds of things. So, you know, I'm always, you know, connecting the dots, so to speak. But with all the new energy that is going, and all the things that, you know, I've known from the past, and everything that I have learned from you in the classes and all, and I would like to know if there's a particular, you know, I know the direction has to do with giving out love and all that, but the knowledge and the understanding. Is there some involvement that I can become involved with to make sure that I am using all that I understand and the knowledge that I have learned over time and with you as well?
Great questioning. So this year is really about you being out amongst the people, even if sometimes the energy feels a bit overwhelming. It's a very social year, but I want to refer to it as a connectivity year for you. Other people, I may use the word networking. I see you connecting in heart-to-heart spaces. I feel like you are the voice that people listen to when they need comfort. I feel that intuitively you automatically know what to tell someone when they're telling you a story. And I feel as if you just need to take your light and bring it out unto the world so that people can gravitate to you in different events, not-for-profit events, different experiences, right? This is how I see it. And I feel that you being a part of a healing circle, a meditative group, something like that would also be powerful for you and everyone who's sitting with you in that group. Does this make sense to you, Susan?
Yes, it does. I know I need to connect, and I'm just not quite. Like you say, I can be in the grocery store, and I don't know, people just seem to find me, and I know a lot of times the things that I'm saying are not what I know, that they're not me. It's like spirit talking through me,
right,
to help them. So, but I think that, maybe like you say, a meditative group or a healing circle, I'll check into that and see, people of like minds.
Exactly. And that's why I love our classes, right? The classes that we have. We have a fabulous group in the apprentice program, right? I mean, each person has their own unique energy to them. It's just a fabulous group. We always have a fabulous group, but I really love this balance of energies that we have in our apprentice program. And some of our classes, we're going to be doing some classes in the summer and like our summer camp, and then we'll have a boot camp coming up for mediumship and psychic development and awareness. So there'll be some things, and ideally if you can come when you're free and you're able to come, if you can come to some of them in person, that will help you kind of connect. We've got some very like-minded, friendly people at the Expedito Enlightenment Center that would, love to get together with you on an afternoon and practice something or do something or, form a little group. So, it's just kind of stepping in a safe environment with people that are kind of on your wavelength and just building from there.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Well, you always give me such, fantastic direction, and, like I haven't been able to, tune in online, and tonight after I finish working in the yard and all, I went, boy, I'm going to tune in, and none of my radios would work. Finally I said, you know what, I'm just going to go online. So I hope that people will come to your classes. It will change their lives. It will bring them fulfillment in the direction of the lives that they need to be, direction their lives that need to be moving. So you're fantastic, and I'm looking forward to the next class.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. We look forward to it as well. God bless you, and keep shining your light. Bye for now. Bye.
Okay.
866-972-7247. Let's go to Lisa in North Palm Beach. Lisa, how are you tonight? Hello, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Lisa. Good to connect with you.
Hi. Hi.
And how can I help you tonight? What is your question for us?
About life, my life, everything.
Well,
everything.
Well, when I look through these past few years, I feel like we've been in a bit of a struggle and a bit of an emotional roller coaster. Is that true, Lisa?
Yes, yes.
And particularly when I go back to 2021, I just feel like that it's been downhill since then. Is that also true?
Yes.
I see here that you're feeling alienated, alone, not feeling like you're able to connect with people. People don't get you. You just don't feel like you found your vibe, your tribe. And the few people that you had that were in your circle, you just feel like they kind of betrayed you and let you down. So now you're kind of questioning people, and you don't really trust yourself emotionally to make right choices. So you're kind of feeling like you're trapped. Is that also true, Lisa?
Yes, it is.
Okay. First thing that
not everything, yes.
I want to tell you that you're not as alone as you think. It's just you don't practice the energy of being phony. You're very sincere. You're very sensitive. You're very empathic. You feel other people's energies. You take it on. You have a lot of wounds from the past that you've been working on to heal. I'm talking childhood wounds, things that you've carried with you, and that you've been working through. But you do take things personally from people because, well, you actually see through the you-know-what. So, and you kind of know that they kind of did mean to throw a dagger at you. And it's not like, oh, I was just kidding. You're like, no, you weren't. You were just being mean. And so you have a sensitivity to that. And so you really feel like your soul doesn't belong on this planet. I'm not saying you're planning to exit the planet, but you feel like your soul does not belong on this planet because you're not speaking the same language as everybody else.
Correct.
But I want you to know that this year is a year for you to get out of your routine. It is a year to kind of take yourself out of what appears to be a depression. I'm not a doctor, not diagnosing, but that's just the energy around you. And I also feel that love partnership is something that you feel you would really want to enjoy and have. Is that true, Lisa?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you least expect it, love is going to come. I realize in past relationships that did not play out well. I also see a lot of loss and mourning around you as well. So I know that there are loved ones. As we're getting ready to close out the show, I won't be able to make that connection for you right now. But I do know that love is coming for you and that you're not supposed to, not meant to, spend the rest of your life alone. So writing down statements of what you want your life to be like and letting your feelings feel enthusiastic at the possibility will be key.
Okay, what about finances?
Well, how far can you stretch a rubber band, right? Because I feel like that's what you've been doing right now. Is that true? Like things are mounting around you and you're stretching, but you're waiting for the rubber band to break. I do feel that when we add the numbers, they're not quite adding up, so you're a little bit short almost every month. Is that true? But somehow you make it, but you're feeling short every month. Is that true?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Somehow, like you've made it before, you are going to make it. If I were to say, I see you moving, that's a possibility, but not yet. So we're going to have to stay the course is where we are. Later in the year, you may consider making a move. Best time to move is going to be 2026. And right now, I feel to make a move, we may not, by the time we actually move, it's going to be so much more complicated for you to find something that's even less than where you are. Does that make sense to you? But I do feel that you'll be okay financially, but through the skin of your teeth. Now, that's in the physical world. So now you go to your angels and your guides and you say to them, I'm abundant beyond measure because you're opening up multiple streams of abundance to come to me, and I am open to receive. I am open to receive what the universe has. Lisa, how did you hear about the show?
I've listened to you different times on the radio.
Great.
When I've been driving, and I've just never called anyone ever on the radio. And I decided I would.
Well, I'm glad you paid attention to the signs. I know you're feeling pretty down. I'll send the angels to lift you up. Just trust that God heard your prayers and knows that you're feeling like you're suffering, and the universe will balance out that energy. We send you the angels. I've got to pop off to say goodbye for the show right now.
Thank you.
But God bless you.
All right.
Bye
Thank
for
you
now.
very much.
You're welcome.
God bless
Bye.
you. Okay. Bye.
866-972-7247. Write the number down. I'd love to talk to you on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah every Wednesday night, 6:30 to 9 p.m. Visit me at sarahspiritual.com. Pop by my Expedito Enlightenment Center at the Metaphysical Center in West Palm Beach, and come June 11th for our 16-year anniversary live at the center. I'd love to meet you. Go to sarahspiritual.com and register. For now, good night, God bless you, and I am Sarah Spiritual.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar. WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores.